The Xperia 1 might be the phone everyone's have been waiting for Sony to release for a long time, and here is why. The device has the first 4K OLED HDR display on a smartphone. It's also a 21:9 aspect ratio panel, which is the same aspect ratio used in cinema. The screen also features the so-called creator mode, meaning that you can have better watching experience thanks to consistent color reproduction, which is true to the creator's intent. I can't wait to test the phone in detail, but my first impressions, the Xperia 1 has one of the best displays I've ever seen on a smartphone. The panel is really sharp, it has excellent contrast, deep blacks and punchy colors. The second biggest selling point to me is a triple camera system with a wide-angle lens, 2x optical zoom and eye autofocus. I'm just so glad that Sony finally moved from a single camera system, and I'm pretty sure the Xperia 1 will rival the best flagships out there. It's worth mentioning that both main and telephoto sensors will have optical and electronic image stabilization. On the front we have an 8-megapixel shooter. Really excited to test the cameras in detail. Sony also brought the world's first eye autofocus in a smartphone and up to 10 FPS AF and AE tracking technology. I was really impressed by how the system performed, but I'll be doing a detailed review of it very soon. In addition, the phone has a Cinema Pro mode that allows you to record cinematic movies the way you want. You'll be able to select from different film looks and adjust all the settings manually, just like on a mirrorless or DSLR camera. Another reason why I like the Xperia 1, the design. Sony preserved its iconic look, but it trimmed down the bezels to the minimum. The device uses a metal trim and a Gorilla Glass 6 on the front and rear. If we compare it to the Xperia XZ3, the Xperia 1 is narrower but significantly taller due to 21:9 aspect ratio display. By the way, I made a detailed review of the Sony Xperia XZ3 and you'll find all the links down below. The phone comes in black, white, purple, and gray colors. Other key features include IP68 certification, Dolby Atmos audio support, and flagship-grade specifications like Snapdragon 855 chipset, 6GB of RAM, and 128GB of expandable storage. One thing that I'm a bit worried about, a 3300 mAh capacity battery, which seems kind of small considering a massive display, but I will test it in detail in my upcoming full review. The pricing and availability is not yet disclosed, but expect the phone to cost premium. I will update the video description for that. Overall, I think that the Xperia 1 is the Sony phone we've all been waiting for. Am I too optimistic? Well, I might be. I'll be testing out this device in detail in my upcoming full review where I will cover all the pros and cons, so please subscribe to the Tech Line if you haven't already. I also spent some time with the newly released Xperia 10 and the 10 Plus. Both phones are already on sale and they cost about 350 and 430 euros respectively. These devices also have 21:9 aspect ratio displays and dual cameras that are capable of recording cinematic 21:9 aspect ratio video. The Xperia 10 has a 6-inch, whereas the 10 Plus sports a 6.5-inch panel. I found both displays to be really nice and sharp. The idea behind 21:9 aspect ratio panel is that this kind of display gives you a more useful screen area, and it is perfect to run two apps at the same time. As far as specifications go, the Xperia 10 has a Snapdragon 630, whereas the 10 Plus rocks a Snapdragon 636 chipset. Overall, these may not be the most exciting mid-rangers we have on the market, but I'll tell you what I think in my full review. Finally, Sony released a budget L3 model that costs just about 180 euros. It comes in a variety of colors, it has a 5.7-inch display and a pretty big 3300 mAh battery. In addition, we have a dual camera system and a side-mounted fingerprint scanner. Which is your favorite Sony smartphone? Mine is definitely the Xperia 1. I really have high hopes for it as my first impressions with it were really good, as it packs a ton of technology. As always, I'll try to answer the question if any of these new Sony phones are worth your attention in my full reviews. It was Linus, thank you for watching and see you soon.